Hey, welcome everyone. Day 2, good morning.
Okay, so I hope you all had a good night last night, got some sleep, and are ready for all of the great content we're about to lay on you today. So before we begin, we would like to thank our sponsors.
Here we go.
And so our gold sponsors, Amory and OpsMX, Harness and Puppet, and then our startup sponsors, AutoCloud, Firefly, and Pradvana. Ooh,
Oh.
Hey there.
Oh. Skipping far ahead. Yeah, and yes, so also, if you didn't know, the sponsors are located out there, and I think I saw a cool Lego set out there, so be sure to visit the booths there to get some cool swag. And so just like quick housekeeping item, just reminding everyone about the code of conduct, conference code of conduct. We want to make everyone feel welcome here. If you have any issues, just feel free to flag down one of the staff. We're more than happy to help any one of you if you have any issues. All right, now the slide comes.
Okay. So one of the most important things, and what makes CDCon, GitOpsCon, any foundation that you're a part of, any open source project, is the ability to join in. And we want to encourage you to join us. Come on, come play with us. We're great people.
We don't bite.
So there's plenty of ways to get involved, and so we just want to talk about sort of our story and how we got involved with CDF, CNCF, Linux Foundation, foundations in general, open source, start to finish.
Yeah, so I would like to start kind of, just kind of throwing the ball your way, kind of asking you the question. How did you get involved with the CD Foundation and foundations in general, as you say, right?
I was voluntold.
Voluntold.
I was voluntold by my boss.
Yeah.
If anybody else has been voluntold, they said we sponsor the Linux Foundation, we sponsor CDF, CNCF, we now sponsor US Foundation, Eclipse Foundation, all these foundations, and we need somebody to actually do something. We need somebody to figure out what's happening within the organizations and how can JFrog be a part of it. We have this huge, company. We went from 500 to 1,400 now. How do we get involved and how do we stay on the cutting edge of what's going on? And the most awesome thing is, Lori, this is in a vendor-neutral space. And I said, what does that even mean? I'm like, we have competitors. And they're like, no, it's open source. People are encouraged to work together to solve problems. And we're volunteering you to get involved. And it was the best voluntold thing that's ever happened to me, because what did I do? I started actually volunteering on my own, which is what got me here on the stage and as marketing outreach chair of CDF. So there's plenty of ways to get involved with the CDF right now. And if you will go to the next slide. I love QR codes. I know it might be old school, and I apologize that I didn't put the cool CDF logo in the middle where the bit.ly link is. But we have elections starting right now, and if you are a member, you can run. If you're a user, you can run. You can also join our Slack space, where there's tons of conversations that are happening. So the CDF has 9 projects, and within that, there's SIGs, there's working groups, there's people that are always there that are ready to answer a question that you have, or help you along the way. If you're stuck, if you don't know what's happening and you want to learn more, the Slack workspace, I think, is by far the best area for you to get involved. There's links to our GitHub account, all that kind of stuff. But the main thing is, if you don't join something, how are you gonna know what's out there? And I think we all come here to learn and to find out what's going on, but this could happen for all year. And you can join a working group because maybe you're really interested in supply chain security and you have an idea. Or maybe you have this really cool plugin that is with Jenkins and you're here today because you learned yesterday that they have this really cool plugin rank checker, and you have an idea of maybe taking that and moving that forward. If you don't participate, then you don't know. And so I think it's an awesome opportunity for you to kind of take from sitting in the seats to the next level and becoming a volunteer in any kind of way. We have ambassadors, we have mentors. There's just a ton of different opportunities out there. Just go with what you like. If you don't like blogging, then I wouldn't suggest you volunteer to write a blog post. But if you really like doing videos and you have this really cool demo, then do that. So there's just tons of ways that you can give back. And I just want to encourage you to join us. definitely in the Slack workspace, but you can run for 2 elected offices, and if you're not sure if you're an eligible voter, you can click that last little QR code, and it'll take you to the page that lets you know all the information.
Yeah, what do you say you guys are in need of right now? So there's a lot of
Everything.
yeah, everything. Okay.
Everything.
Usually, like, there's one space where it's like, oh, we could really use someone to volunteer in this one space. But you're saying just find something that you like.
Yeah,
and-
we have 9 projects, right? There's 9 projects that are always looking for contributors, maintainers, things like that. But in that, like I said, we have SIGs, we have working groups. Like maybe you're really interested in reference architecture, and so join the reference architecture or the best practices SIG. I would say, like, as you know, in open source, there's always a need for something, and until you join and start asking, like, you're not going to know. And again, it's based on what you want to do. Like, I was voluntold to be a part of the foundations, and it was the best thing ever because I'm a marketing person, and look, here I am on the stage getting to represent the CD-Con program committee, which was an amazing experience, and I really hope you enjoy the content. They took a lot of thought and care into that. But I'm a marketing person, right? And like, I'm here. So that's my story. Christian, what's your story? How did you get involved?
Yeah, so I will move on here. I'm more of a one QR, right, one stop sort of thing, right? So it actually takes you to a page with a lot of other links. So it's not like her QR card is probably a lot better since it takes you directly there.
QR code.
I just QR code
stage.
So yeah. So how I got involved is I wasn't voluntold. Actually, I'm kind of extroverted a little bit, and I'm a people person. I'm outgoing, and so when I changed teams at Red Hat, I was originally in sales. I changed into the P&T, right, products and technology, and my boss asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Which is an interesting question, to ask with a 35-year-old guy. But he asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to be the Kelsey Hightower of GitOps. And so he goes, okay, then you have the complete freedom to explore that for yourself. And right around that time, members from the Flux community and members from the Argo CD community, the Argo project community, was getting together to kind of define what does GitOps actually mean. So I talked a little bit about this yesterday in the keynote, where I said, these group of individuals didn't want what happened to cloud, right? What is cloud, right? People are calling their hard drive in, their external hard drive a cloud, right? Essentially, their cloud. They didn't want what happened to cloud to happen to GitOps. Let's get some definitions around this. And I was part of that process very, very early on. And what I really liked about it is that it was a community of architects, right? A lot of times when you think about open source and community, you think about code, right? But like, look at us here standing on stage. We got someone who's really, really great at marketing, really, and someone who, who's an architect, right? We're nerds at heart, but we don't have, we're not contributing a lot of code. And so what really attracted me to the Open GitOps project was the fact that there was like these folks that were, from 2 different sides, right? You would think, competing projects, but actually came together. And I actually see Costas and Kingdon out there sitting at the same table. It's like, the Flux and Argo, the Capulets and the Montagues, right, are sitting at the same table just hanging out. Because, and that's kind of what attracted me to Open GitOps. So, being part of the process, being part of being able to, almost develop an industry standard was really attractive. Was attractive to me, and so I started contributing, my opinion. Those of you that know me, I'm not short on opinions, and so I was just contributing opinions, documentation, helping out with the website, setting up things like GitOpsCon, right, was one of the things that I was involved with. And so that's kind of where we are Open GitOps. In a lot of ways, we are still kind of in the bootstrapping phase. There's there's a lot of room for help. Shout out to Stacy, who's been helping me with the social media, because before it was just me. And she's been helping out with the social media thing. Shout out to Nicholas, who may be watching this in recording because he's in Germany, who's handling all the website stuff. Shout out to Scott. I don't know where he's out there, kind of co-chairing and getting all the documentation in the project Bootstrap. So, I asked you where you guys need most help. Where we need most help is continuing that Bootstrap process. We are developing a path to how to be a contributor, right? We have a lot of maintainers, not a lot of contributors. So we need more contributors, but in order to do that, we need to kind of figure out what that path looks like. We would love for anyone to join and kind of help us shape that. What does contribution look like? Also, like you said, blogs. There's blogs, documentation. Carlos Santana, not the guitar player, but I don't know if you saw his talk. He was, talking about developing a matrix of best practices. Like, oh, if you're using this and you're using that, then this might be a pattern you might follow. I asked him to contribute, that sort of documentation to the Open GitOps project. Nikki, which I don't see out there, but she does a lot with environmental sustainability and GitOps. I'm like, can you please just, donate all your findings to Open GitOps? So there's still a lot of room. We're still growing, and we still, are almost, we're still in that bootstrap process. So kind of a long-winded way of me saying that.
To summarize, we could use some help.
Yes.
And to summarize, we would love for you to participate. So if it's something that you're thinking about, just, come talk to us. If you're a little bit I don't really care about QR codes and whatever, but how do I do this? Happy to talk to anybody. But I think with that, we should just kick it off and start with our keynotes.
Yeah, you're here to see some cool talks. So I think we should get to the talks.
Okay. Sure.